No doubt whatsoever. They want to basically they want to finish the job, and Gaddafi is going to resist with any.
Do they have the ability to finish the job? I know we've seen what looks like army units apparently defecting to the protesters because they've been parading APCs and tanks. But do they have the ability to go in and finish the job, as you put it?
I would think so, because a week ago nobody expected maybe Gaddafi to go down, but now as time goes by, the opposition is getting stronger and Gaddafi's regime is getting weaker, and with the defection of so many top-ranking officers in his army, they're getting stronger indeed.
All right, thanks so much, Professor Youssef.
Thank you.
Well, the US president is being consulted with European leaders about how to respond to the crisis in Libya. A statement released by the White House says Barack Obama expressed his deep concern over the Libyan government's use of violence, which violates international norms and every standard of human decency. Well, Gregory Copley is the president of the International Strategic Studies Association. He says the US has been too slow to condemn Gaddafi.
I think it's staggering that the U.S. government, the White House, has taken so long to respond, and the fact that the White House still hasn't mentioned really Gaddafi. They've mentioned the Libyan government and so on. The problem has been that there are too many in Washington who have been compromised by Gaddafi's money over the past decade. The White House, regardless of what leverage it might have had, certainly weighed in very early in Tunisia, Bahrain and Egypt. It could have done so here. It failed to do so because, I think, of what they felt were vested interests. They wanted Gaddafi to stay in power. Now, it's only in the last 24 hours, really, that the White House and the National Security Council seem to have recognized that Gaddafi might go. And they were even still last night thinking that maybe Saif al-Islam would replace him. That option is now out the window. It's clear that the country has reverted to the constitutionalists. They're waving the old constitutional flag of the Sanusiya. So the country has literally reverted to a situation of 1969, where the majority of the country is under the desire to go away from tribalism, to go to a pan-Libyan solution, which is the Sanusiya, and Gaddafi now is reduced to being the rebel against the government, as he was 40 years ago.
Meanwhile, with oil prices around 2.5-year highs, the US president is trying to calm fears they'll soar even higher. Obama says he's expecting to be able to ride out that crisis in Libya, but a White House spokesperson says the administration is watching the situation very carefully.
Oil prices can affect the economy and can affect people in their wallets and pocketbooks. But we are in touch with the IEA and oil-producing countries about the developments in the market. We have the capacity to act in the event of a major supply disruption. I don't want to speculate on any particular action. I don't want to, again, predict that what may or may not happen in terms of disruption. But the global community has, global system has a lot of experience in managing the kind of disruption that we've seen, our focus now is on monitoring this and making sure that we know what our options are if they need to be taken.
Well, we're in New Zealand after the break.
I'm Tanya Page in Christchurch, where aftershocks from an earthquake and bad weather are threatening to further collapse this cliff, and people have been evacuated.
2, 1. Booster ignition and the final liftoff of Discovery.
The final countdown, the Space Shuttle Discovery blasts off one last time.
As the hot spell extends across the Gulf, we'll still make sure you feel refreshed.
Welcome back. In India, we are seeing some rainy conditions down to the south, but not as rainy as they were in the beginning of the week. We saw some heavy showers down to the south, but those are now beginning to push down to the southwest. Still some clouds, though, anywhere up from up to Nagpur, up to also to Calcutta. That will stay in the forecast, but that's just some clouds. That's not going to bring any rain showers with it. Colombo, Sri Lanka, looking very nice over the next couple of days. But where we are going to be seeing a lot of rain is towards Mozambique, especially to the northern parts of Mozambique. Very heavy rain showers are going to be a problem. Now, we have seen 100 millimeters over the last couple of days. We have seen 20,000 people displaced because of the floodwaters in the river basins. And as you can see on the forecast map, very heavy rain showers are going to be the problem. A little bit further to the south, also some rain showers for Johannesburg as well as Durban. Cape Town not looking too bad at 28 degrees for them, but still very rainy over towards Madagascar, where they have seen quite a bit of rain from their last cyclone. Over towards the Arabian Peninsula, warmer temperatures. Look at this. Doha is going to be expecting 28 degrees. Riyadh at 32 degrees, and those temperatures are only going to be going up as we go into the next couple of days. Baghdad, though, 28 degrees in their forecast. Very warm temperatures coming up from the south. Normally 20 degrees for them.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
On the next Riz Khan show, rock star and activist Yusuf Islam, formerly known as Cat Stevens, reveals the origins of his new song celebrating the popular uprisings in Egypt and beyond. Riz Khan, at this time on Al Jazeera.
If you're a Nokia user, you can download Al Jazeera's news widget from Nokia's Ovis store. The news widget, available on compatible Nokia devices, gives users quick and easy access to real-time news updates from Al Jazeera English. See the world in real time. Al Jazeera Mobile.
Welcome back. You're watching Al Jazeera. Let's recap the very latest from Libya now. Residents of Benghazi say these pictures obtained by Reuters news agency show mercenaries hired by Muammar al-Gaddafi to crack down on the protesters. He's blaming Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden for that uprising against him. In his second address to the nation since it began, Muammar al-Gaddafi remained defiant, but he spoke via the telephone rather than appearing in person. Meanwhile, Libya's capital, Tripoli, remains on lockdown. More video is emerging of just how much control Muammar Gaddafi has apparently lost in the east. Jubilant protesters have been showing journalists what they've managed to seize in the city of Shahad. And the US president says the violent crackdown on protesters is indecent, while Barack Obama has stopped short of announcing direct action against Gaddafi. Well, as you've just heard, much of eastern Libya is now said to be under the control of the opposition. Groups there say they're preparing to form a new government. My correspondent, who we're not naming for her own safety, sent this report from the country's east.
Well, here in the east of the country, people say that they have liberated their area. Even though there are no celebrations yet, there is still tension in the air, anxiety in the air. People do follow very closely the speeches made by Muammar Gaddafi, and even though some of them discard some of the threats he makes, others would tell you he is an unpredictable man, and they do fear some sort of counter-offensive. Otherwise, on the political side, it seems that tribal leaders have now rallied around the former justice minister who's resigned